Hey guys, welcome back to my beauty stash, or welcome if it is your first time here. Hello, my name is Steff. I would love to have you become part of our makeup family, so be sure to click on that subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up if you enjoy watching. Alright guys, so today's video is going to be all about 10-ish makeup products that have withstood the test of time. Some of these makeup products that I'm going to share with you, I don't have all of them by the way, but some of them have been around for years. One of them dating back to 1935. That is almost 100 years. Almost 100 years. We're coming up on 90 years. Oh my goodness. So I thought of this video idea during my lunch break today, and I started thinking about makeup products that I had in my stash and makeup that I used back in the day when I was like in middle school and high school. And as I was thinking about these items, I'm like, wait a minute, I still have that. Wait a minute, I still use that. Wait a minute, I just used that this morning. So there are a lot of products, and I'm sure you have them in your stash as well, that have been with us year after year after year, variation after variation, new formula. And they are still represented in our makeup stashes, and that is what we are gonna go over today. If you guys wanna hear and see the top 10 makeup products that I feel have withstood the test of time, keep on watching. And guys, if you're wondering about the eye look, you guys saw that in yesterday's video. This is the look I did in my top 10 rainbow palettes currently in my stash. I use the BH Cosmetics 80s remix, dance remix eyeshadow palette. So I will have that video linked, and I will also have all of the makeup that I'm wearing linked in the description box of today's video. Some of those things might be affiliate links, so if you end up shopping through them, I thank you so much for supporting me and my channel. Let's get started, guys. Let's get started. I did my very best to at least get the year or the decade when these products were initially released. It doesn't mean that I was using them during that time, but I did come around and use them eventually. And these are in no particular order, but I want to start with the one that I used this morning. And if you can believe it, the YSL Touche Eclat, this came out in 1991. I wasn't thinking that this was released in 1991. I was thinking 2000 or 2001, and it was actually released in 1991. I didn't start using Touche Eclat till around 2004, 2005, and I've already repurchased two of these within the last year or so. And that's because it works. Now guys, when I go to work in the morning, I don't always go to work with a full face of makeup. Sometimes all I'm applying is a little bit of under eye concealer or brightener, as this is. I do some mascara, my brows, and that might be it. If I have time, I'll throw on a little powder foundation, or maybe if I'm doing a foundation review, I do, you know, a full face of makeup. But 9 times out of 10, I'm doing things really quick on the fly, and YSL Touche Eclat is definitely a lifesaver for me. I don't even need to set this with powder. It just goes on beautifully on my under eye area, and it's a quick wake me up, pick me up at the start of the day. It looks good all day with or without the rest of my makeup. And this is just one of those products that has been a constant in my stash. I might not have had it every single year since I started using it, but it has made its way back into my stash every now and then. And the last year and a half, this has definitely been a staple for me. All right, guys, next on the list is a foundation from none other than Estee Lauder, and I'm talking about the OG Double Wear Foundation. I have the shade 1N1, which is typically what I wear in Estee Lauder foundations. Estee Lauder Double Wear debuted in 1997, and that's probably around the time that I started wearing this. In high school, I did pageants, so I always needed like a full coverage makeup. That, and because I had really acne-prone skin, so I needed to cover whatever blemishes I had going on. But Estee Lauder Double Wear has always had a place in my stash. I am never without this particular foundation. It worked great back then and it still works great today. There's been so many different versions of Estee Lauder Double Wear. I've even had, and I decluttered it already, but the maximum cover Double Wear foundation, I mean, you want full coverage, you get that maximum coverage one. That is gonna conceal anything and everything, but this one, this is like right below that. Still giving you amazing coverage, but it's a little bit more breathable. It's a little bit more manageable. It doesn't feel so heavy duty as that maximum coverage one. This is just the original formula, the liquid foundation. I love this. This is a tried and true product, and it is always going to have a place in my stash for as long as I am wearing foundation. All right, guys, now let's talk about the product that dates back to 1935. I know a lot of you have probably guessed this already, and some of you might currently have this in your stash, and I'm thinking all of us tried this product because of our grandmothers, and I'm talking about Coty Airspun Loose Powder. Now, this particular powder comes in extra coverage, and it comes in the traditional translucent. I decluttered both versions recently on my channel. It was about a month ago, and I decluttered them because of age, and one of them, the plastic was broken, but I am repurchasing this because I like this powder. I think it does a good job at controlling oil in my T-zone. I don't always like this powder as under eye setting powder. I think even the version that doesn't provide the extra coverage is still this is a little bit of a heavy powder, I think. But if you're wanting a heavy duty powder, maybe just to wear on special occasions, or maybe you're gonna wear it every day, which doesn't really matter. This is an OG. This has been in production since 1935. That's almost 100 years old. That's just amazing to me. I remember my grandmother had this, and I want to say that back then the round case was cardboard and not plastic the way it is today, but for sure the print, that floral print and the orange packaging, I mean, that was a staple. That was how you identified it. Oh, that's the Coty Airspun, and the little puff that comes inside of it. I never used that puff, but hey, you know, it's nostalgic. And this powder, while it is currently not in my stash, it will be pretty soon, and it's just one I'm always gonna have in my stash because it reminds me of my grandmother, and it reminds me how some makeup products truly do stand the test of time. Next up, we have Wet n Wild lipsticks. Now, this is the newly reformulated, fairly new packaging for Wet n Wild. I want to say this packaging has been around for at least 2.5 years now. And in case you didn't know, 1979 was the year that Wet n Wild launched, and they launched with nail polish, they launched with lipstick, and I think those wooden pencil eyeliners, and that was it. That is what put Wet n Wild on the map in the drugstore category, like the super duper inexpensive drugstore category, because I remember for years you used to be able to get a Wet n Wild lipstick for $1. I think you can still find, not in this packaging, a slightly different packaging and probably a bit of a different formula, for $1.19, maybe $2 at the most. But I know this Wet n Wild lipstick, this one is like $3. It is definitely no more than $3. I think in store you might find it for $4, but I mean, these Wet n Wild lipsticks have been around for longer than I've been alive, and I am a new 40-year-old woman. So guys, I have used Wet n Wild lipsticks, including those wooden eyeliners. That's what I started off with. When it came to eyeliner, when I was like in middle school and high school, I was using Wet n Wild because that's what I could afford to get, and for sure I was wearing Wet n Wild lipstick. And to think that back in 1979, what they launched their brand with, lipstick and nail polishes, those are still really popular in the Wet n Wild brand today. I think lipstick is definitely one of the most popular Wet n Wild products out there, and I like that they keep coming out with different versions. Now this is the Megalast matte lipstick, but there's also a Megalast high shine lipstick, and I even have a whole bunch of the new Cloud Pout lipsticks right here. So they keep improving upon an already good formula and just coming out with different versions and different colors. I'm actually wearing one of the Cloud Pout lipsticks right now from Wet n Wild, and this one is in the shade Sugarholic. The Wet n Wild lipsticks have definitely always had a place in my stash, and by the looks of it, they're gonna continue to do so for many years to come. All right, guys, next up is the only non-makeup product in today's video, but we need it. We need it to be able to apply our makeup. And I'm talking about e.l.f. makeup brushes. e.l.f. makeup brushes were introduced to the world when e.l.f. was introduced to the world back in 2004. I know that doesn't seem like a very long time ago, but if you stop to think about it, that's almost 20 years ago. e.l.f. stands for eyes, lips, face, and they definitely have all three of those categories covered in their makeup brush line. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think the first e.l.f. makeup brush was with the white handle. I have both the white and the black. Well, I have a whole bunch of different versions, but the white, I think, was the original makeup brush, or this was the more affordable line, if you can believe it. These were always retailing for like $1. And this one right here is the powder brush. They got the job done then, and they still get the job done today. I have this other one over here with the black handle. I want to say the black handle is a little newer in the e.l.f. makeup brush lineup. This one is the highlighting brush. I really do actually enjoy this for highlighting. But over the years, as e.l.f. started releasing different collections, they started releasing makeup brushes with specialty handles on them. This is from the Retro Paradise collection, as well as this one over here. This was one of the ones from their collaboration with Nabella Noor. And I think I also have the foundation and blush brush in this collection as well. I still have some more with the little black handles. I mean, guys, for $1, $2, the price has remained low since 2004. And you guys know how high prices are right now for everything. But e.l.f. makeup brushes have always remained at a very affordable price point. I know e.l.f. recently stated on their Instagram and on their website that their prices on some of their products were going to be increasing by like $1 or $2, which, guys, I get it. Everything is going up. I don't mind paying an extra $2, $3, $4 for products that I know are going to work. And e.l.f. makeup brushes are definitely products that I know are going to work and get the job done. Next up is a mascara that I've had in my stash since I probably started wearing mascara, and this is the Lancome Definicils mascara. This comes in regular version, which I always buy regular. I don't like to buy waterproof, but it also comes in waterproof. Now, the Lancome Definicils mascara was launched in 1991. I want to say I started wearing Lancome mascara in 1998, 1999, and again, I was doing pageants in high school, and I would typically go get my makeup done at the Lancome counter, like at Dillard's or Macy's, sometimes at the Chanel counter, but more often than not, it was Lancome. I always liked the way the Lancome makeup artists applied my makeup, and that's why I've always been using Lancome. For me, Lancome mascaras, like, that is what one of the things that Lancome does best, mascara. Their mascaras are just absolutely amazing. I know that their prices have increased over the years, but I don't mind paying the $25 price tag for a Lancome mascara. Yes, I know there are so many drugstore mascaras that are absolutely amazing. I'm actually wearing a drugstore mascara today, the Maybelline Sky High, but there's just something special, for me at least, about Lancome mascaras, I guess because I grew up on them. I've always had, if not Definicils, I've had some type of Lancome mascara in my stash. I love the Monsieur Big Mascara, which I think might be on sale pretty soon. June during the 21 days of Ulta Beauty sale. That is a fantastic one, and that also comes in waterproof and non-waterproof. But for me, mascara is one thing that Lancome has always done well, and proof is right here because this has been around since 1991 and it is still a cult favorite. All right, guys, next is a product that I was really surprised about. I was really surprised, I guess, when this product was released, and that's because I was looking to include, I guess, its competitor, its drugstore version, but I'm talking about Benefit Hoola bronzer. Now, this is the only Hoola bronzer I have left. I was never really that big on the Hoola bronzer train, I guess you can say. So this is the extent of my Benefit Hoola bronzer collection, I guess you can say. I actually leave this at work, but I haven't used it in a while, so I think I'm going to be decluttering it after today's video. I don't like the packaging of this at all. I mean, there's just a lot of wasted space, like a lot of unnecessary bulkiness. But this bronzer, and the one I was thinking about at the drugstore was the Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer, but I couldn't find the year that it came out. And I searched and searched and it never came up, but this one came up. And when this one came up, 2001 Hoola bronzer has been out. I was like, I have that. It's in my desk drawer. Let me just include this instead of the Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer. But the Physicians Formula is my favorite. That is my favorite. This one, you know, this one has since been released in different versions. They've included this in palettes, but they haven't changed the packaging. I don't know why. Like, I don't understand the packaging. Even like the mini size, is even bulkier, which I guess the Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer is bulky as well, but I just feel like there's so much wasted space. The actual product is good. Like, I'll give it that. I like the bronzer. I like that they've released different shades, but it took them a while to release different shades in this bronzer. So, you know, it has its pros and cons. It didn't keep up with times as quickly as it should have, but it's still hanging out and it's still in a lot of our makeup stashes. And this product is 21 years old. 21 years old for the Benefit Hoola bronzer. Let me know if you still have this one in your stash. Next up, I have another foundation, and this one is from Revlon. This is the Revlon Color Stay line. This is the line, Color Stay, that Cindy Crawford made famous. And in the Color Stay line, you have, of course, foundation. You have one for dry skin, and you also have one for oily skin. The one I have is actually for normal dry skin, but the lipsticks, the foundation and the lipsticks are definitely, I think, the two most popular products in the Color Stay line. This foundation has definitely evolved over the years. It was released in the early 1990s, and I still remember going to Walmart and seeing the big Cindy Crawford poster with her iconic little beauty mark right here above her lip, and modeling different lip colors, of course, with the foundation. I mean, just flawless, gorgeous, beautiful skin. Cindy Crawford is in her 50s, and she still looks absolutely amazing. Her and Christy Brinkley. Have you seen Christy Brinkley on Instagram? Girl is amazing. Like, I think Christy Brinkley is almost 70. I think she's almost 70, or she's 65. You would never know. You would never know. Both of these women have aged so well, and Cindy Crawford is what really put Revlon like on the map with the Color Stay line. This particular foundation, I know a lot of you still use it. When I did my full face of Revlon makeup a few months ago, I had to repurchase this foundation because I no longer had it in my stash. But this is definitely a foundation that I used growing up, like in high school and also in my college years. And of course, back then I would use the one for oily skin because I am a normal to oily skin type, oily primarily in my T-zone, but I like to have a glow to my skin. I like to have, you know, a radiance. So this time around for that particular video, I went ahead and picked up the one for dry skin. And the shade I have in this one is 130 Porcelain. and I love it. I think this is a really nice foundation. You can definitely get about full coverage out of this one. Color Stay foundation as well as the lipsticks, which I don't have any of the lipsticks. Those are both still in production and they are still fan favorites. Next is a product that I no longer have in my stash. I recently decluttered it. Well, when I say recently, it was last year, but I'm not opposed to buying it again because I know a lot of you out there, you probably have this right now in your stash, and I'm talking about the OG CoverGirl Cheekers blush. These little blushes, right now there's 8 shades available on the Ulta Beauty website. These have been around, let's see, what does my note say? These have been around since 1961. 1961. The packaging I don't think has changed much, except that now CoverGirl is cruelty free. Back then they weren't. They recently have undergone a formula change with all of their products to where as a brand they are all cruelty free. I think that is fantastic. But the packaging hasn't really changed on this, as well as the eyeshadow palettes. It's still that OG packaging, as well as the foundation. The foundation like that's in a triangle bottle. Oh my gosh, that is taking it back. CoverGirl definitely has those OG products that have been around with our grandmas, with our moms, and now with us and with our children. It's just amazing to see that these products that came out, you know, 40 years ago, 70 years ago, almost 100 years ago, we're still using them today. Yes, the formula has been improved upon, but they're still around, and I think that is absolutely amazing. CoverGirl is one of those brands that has a lot of OG products in their lineup. All right, guys, and last but not least is a product that I know I have one somewhere, I just can't find it, but this is a product that was made famous by Madonna in the mid 1980s, and I am talking about MAC lipstick. Now, I was going to first include MAC Fix Plus because I know MAC Fix Plus has definitely been around for quite some time, but I couldn't find a release date for it. So instead, we're doing the MAC lipstick. Madonna wore, I think it was a shade of red. I don't remember which shade it was, but she wore it in one of her music videos and it was a complete showstopper. It really put MAC on the map, so to speak, because MAC had just started. MAC started back in 1984, I believe. And I think when Madonna wore the lipstick, it was around 85, 86, 87. So that really gave MAC a spotlight that it needed to grow, not just with makeup artists, because this is a makeup artist brand. That's how they started out. Now MAC is for everybody, not just working makeup artists. So I have really seen MAC evolve over the years. I don't have a lot of MAC in my stash. Let me just put it that way. It's not that I don't like the brand. I don't know. I was never drawn to MAC as a brand. I have a few items. I enjoy what I have. I am kicking myself for not ordering a MAC Fix Plus because when I get done with my NYX setting spray that I use up here to spray my brushes when I'm doing like shimmer eyeshadow looks, I want to start using MAC Fix Plus after that. So I'm going to have to pick one up. I ran out of the bottle that I had, but MAC lipsticks definitely have a cult following. I know all of you, you probably have at least one MAC lipstick in your stash. I have a nude shade and it's a mini nude shade. I just don't know where I put it. It's probably at work where a lot of things end up, but I love that lipstick. It lasts all day. It's a nice, comfortable formula. And MAC, of course, like others, has expanded their lipstick formula to not just be matte, but they have glossy and high shine, liquid lipstick, gloss, so on and so forth, and a multitude of different shades to choose from. If you've been wearing makeup for a while, then you likely have a MAC lipstick in your stash, and I'm pretty sure you enjoy it. All right, guys, so that wraps up my 10-ish makeup products that have withstood the test of time. Let me know your thoughts, guys. What are some of the products currently in your stash that have just withstood the test of time. You've used them since high school, and maybe you're 40 like me, or maybe you're 50 or 60 and you're still using the products. I would love to hear what products that you have in your stash that are just have been around forever and they're never going away. I want to thank you guys so much for watching another one of my videos. You all have a great day or night wherever it is you all are at. Stay hydrated, guys. Drink that water, and I will see you all very soon. Bye.